Generative AI has taken over the headlines in the last 2 years.
A lot of different AIs that
All different types of models.
AI is everywhere.
OpenAI.
AI is real.
AI, generative AI, AI.
From the massive success of ChatGPT to AI-generated OnlyFans, everyone has been talking about it. There are new AI products coming out every day and billions of dollars being invested in them. It is 2024, and many believe we're at the beginning of the great AI revolution. So what is generative AI and what can I do with it? How much of this stuff is valuable and how much of it is just hype? Will I lose my job? I'm Taj Atkinson, and this is State of Gen AI 2024. Now, before I start, I should say that AI is a broad term and it's impossible for me to cover everything in one video. So in today's episode, I'm going to focus on generative AI. I'm going to give a high-level overview of what Gen AI is, what are the main types, and more importantly, what you can do with them today. So what is generative AI? Gen AI refers to a specific category of AI models, and these models can generate brand new content based on the content it was trained on. Now, there are all kinds of other AI models out there that can do things like image classification, object detection, face tracking, weather forecasting, predicting future housing prices, the list goes on. But what sets Gen AI models apart is their ability to generate brand new content. This content can be text, images, audio, or even video. And when I say brand new, I really mean brand new. When you give it a prompt, which is just any input, it doesn't just search for the result in some database. It generates a unique response based on the context of the prompt and the model's understanding of our world. Think of Gen AI like an artist who learns how to paint by looking at many paintings. Over time, the artist will understand the patterns and relationships in other paintings and start to be able to create paintings of their own. We can further break down generative AI into its main modalities, that is generative text, generative audio, generative imagery, and generative video. Let's start with text. The models used to generate text are called large language models, or LLMs. They're trained on tons of text data, basically all the data on the internet, like blogs, emails, books, news, even social media posts. It's through all this data that the model essentially develops its own understanding of our world. These models are the backbone behind popular apps like ChatGPT and Google's Gemini, which are apps that allow you to interact with the model through a convenient chat-like interface. Using them is a lot like texting a really smart person who knows virtually everything there is to know on the internet. It can write you an email, summarize a story, maybe generate a video script about generative AI. Use cases are endless, and people are constantly figuring out new and creative ways to use it. I personally use it a lot for learning. Instead of just Googling things and searching through a bunch of links, I can ask a question and have a back and forth conversation about the topic. I use it to refine ideas, critique business plans, brainstorm, the list goes on. If you're not using these tools in 2024, you're really missing out. So that's text. Let's move on to imagery. In 2024, AI-generated imagery is just incredible. All you have to do is type a description of the image and the model will generate it for you. The more detailed description, the better. Look at these results. It can generate artwork, realistic people, fiction, fantasy, architecture, anime, pretty much anything you can imagine. Okay, let's try this. Can you tell me which one of these is real and which one is AI generated? Trick question. Both are AI generated, which means it will be even harder to trust anything you see on the internet these days. Now, this is an amazing tool for creativity, for anybody who wants to bring their visual ideas to life. Not only can you generate new images, but you can use generative AI to edit existing images. This feature is called inpainting or generative fill. People are using these tools to improve their appearance on all social media platforms. You can generate professional headshots for LinkedIn and inpaint yourself some abs for Tinder. Graphic designers can iterate more quickly, businesses can make marketing material more cheaply, and overall, I think it unlocks more creativity. Instead of me having to search for an image that matches my story, I can generate exactly what I want. It's definitely not perfect, and none of these AI tools are, but it is a game changer. There are also some more interesting use cases, like generating fake people. People are making millions by creating AI influencers on social media. People are even combining imagery with generative text to create AI girlfriends and AI boyfriends that you can chat with. apparently, this is very, very, very lucrative. Now, let's take a moment to talk about the obvious bad side here. In 2024, people have the power to generate high-quality, realistic images of anyone doing anything. This is during an election year at a time where no one really trusts politicians and the media anymore. We have already seen this being used to spread fake news in this upcoming election. Alright, let's move on to generative audio. So far, the big things in Gen Audio fall into two categories: music generation and voice cloning. Music generation is cool. All the background music in this video is AI generated. Just like imagery, the quality is really high and it is virtually impossible to tell the difference between AI generated music and real music. Here's a song I generated of Elvis singing a reggae song about AI.
New dawn, breaking machines are waking, smart minds create in future we're taking.
Yeah, unlikely, but impressive. There have been multiple instances of AI generated music going viral, including where an artist's voice is cloned and used against their will. This brings us to voice cloning. In 2024, you can clone anyone's voice and generate high quality, realistic audio of them saying anything. I repeat.
It's 2024 and you can clone anyone's voice
and generate high quality audio of them saying anything.
Jarno, what is this world coming to?
Again, already being used by scammers and fake news. Lastly, let's talk about generative video. Now, I actually don't have much to say about video, so I'll just show it to you. Again, these videos were not recorded. The dog that you're seeing and the person do not exist. They were just completely generated by AI. Here's a short movie completely generated by AI.
Literally filled with hot air. Yeah, living like this has its challenges. Windy days, for one, are particularly troublesome. Or there was the one time my girlfriend insisted I go to the cactus store to get my Uncle Jerry a wedding present. Ugh.
Wow, that's amazing. And there's a whole lot more to come. Now that we're at the end, let me answer some of the earlier questions. Is it worth the hype? Will you lose your job? I think generative text is definitely worth the hype and is the most beneficial to the average person. For the other modalities, imagery, audio, and video, I don't think it helps the average person that much. Will you lose your job? Probably. I mean, it obviously depends on your job. I don't think it will happen soon, but eventually all of our jobs and our whole way of working will change. I think for now, the best decision is to get familiar with AI and all of the tools that are available. Learn how to use them to your advantage. If you made it this far, thank you. You might as well subscribe. This is my first video on AI and I really wanted to cover more, but please let me know what you think in the comments. Bless up.
Dawn, breaking machines are waking, smart